Hey everybody, welcome back to the Central Texas High School Football Huddle. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and each week I bring you news and information and some cool interviews about Central Texas football. As always, the Centex Huddle is brought to you by Fat Cow Jerky. Also, Corey Pack State Farm Insurance and Grit Football Camps. More about them later. We are nearing the midway point of the 2022 season. It is going by so fast. Well, at least the regular season. In addition to some of the information about what's been going on, I've got a lot of cool games coming up this week and an interview where our very own Steve Thomas sat down with head coach David Sines from Cibolo Steel after their victory. The Centex Huddle is brought to you by Fat Cow Jerky. Unlike some other jerky brands, they craft their beef jerky with 100% beef, and you can taste it. They use the lean cuts of meat, slice them into strips, and then marinate with select ingredients and a unique blend of herbs and spices that make for an incredible flavor. And talk about flavor, these guys have it. When you open a bag of Fat Cow Jerky, you get a taste of American ingenuity, perfected recipes, and a passion for making the ultimate flavored meat snacks. Fat Cow Jerky is a small business with a big heart and a love for high-quality, delicious snacks. Fat Cow Jerky is utterly perfect. Find your next favorite flavor at fatcowjerky.com. We're also brought to you by State Farm agent Corey Pack. State Farm agent Corey Pack is a proud supporter of Texas high school football and the Central Texas High School Football Huddle. For insurance on all the things that matter, you can count on Corey Pack from State Farm. I've known Corey for several years now, and I tell you, there is nobody better to handle your insurance needs. You can call or text him to receive a quote, 512-268-7225, or go online to coreypack.com to connect with him. And as they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. All right, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on scores because by now you've heard most of them. A couple things stood out to me, though. Wimberley, in defeating Brock at Baylor, was kind of a battle of two great, historic high school football programs. It was a good game, very good game. Wimberley came out on top. Austin Westlake, of course, extends their regular season win streak to 25. Dripping Springs now has a regular season win streak of 12. Despite the fact they moved up in classification, they keep winning. Round Rock, regular season, 9 in a row. Wimberley, 8 in a row. Llano, 7 in a row. And I tell you, the fact that Cameron Yo lost to Belleville while still scoring 40 points was amazing. That's the 8th time in the last 9 years they've scored 40 points or more, and they lost. Previous to that, it had happened once in 20 years. Yeah, they lost 45-40, but they are the highest scoring offense in the Central Texas area. 57.7 points a game. Cameron Yo is getting it done. They're ahead of Westlake, who has 49. Hayes Consolidated kicking butt, too. 48.3 points a game. Manor New Tech, 47.7. Llano, 44.7. Liberty Hill scoring 44.3. And Luling, get this, Luling scoring 44 points a game. And so you think, big deal, there's a lot of 3-0 teams. Well, I tell you, by winning 3 in a row, they now have won more games in the last 3 than it did in the previous 42 games combined. That is a turnaround. Great job by Luling, again, scoring 44 points a game. Round Rock Stony Point also scoring 44 points a game. Whole lot of teams scoring over 40. Bowie, McNeil, Thornton, Bartlett, Lago Vista, Lockhart. A lot of scoring going on this year. But before you think, hey, this is a lack of defense, there's some actual good defense in the area. Bowie, a team that I mentioned in that list of high scorers at 41.7, has the absolute stingiest defense, too, giving up only 6.7. Mason gives up 7 points a game. Stony Point, 7.7. Vandegrift, 7.7. Glenn, 9. Bartlett, 11. Flatonia, 11.3, which is tied with Austin Westlake. Again, very good defenses. And that Wimberley squad giving up 12.3, so not bad, doing really good. Mentioned Luling earlier, right? 12.7, they're only giving up. A lot of these teams scoring a lot, giving up very little, very, very stingy defenses. We also want to thank Grit Football Camps. They provide the opportunity for campers to interact with recruiters, athletic directors, and professional scouts to expand their chances to attend college. In fact, that is the point of Grit Football Camps, is to get their attendees enrolled in college. Whatever level their skills match, they've got ways and connections to help your student athlete make it to college. This camp is dedicated to expanding student athletes' recruitment knowledge and developing leadership skills. Campers will learn how to build relationships with recruiters and prepare for a life on and off the football field. Their camp will call upon the student athletes from area schools to connect them with college recruiters, athletic directors, professional coaches, and scouts that are willing to mentor each student to be successful in college and beyond. Grit football camps are held all around the country. You can check them out at gritfootballcamp.com. Steve Thomas caught up with David Sines from Cibolo Steel after their victory over Huddle.
Coach Steve Thomas, Lone Star Gridiron. Congrats on the win tonight. So that's a team that can put up a lot of points. So what was your game plan, especially defensively, going in to shut them down?
The quarterback's he's a special player. They got skilled kids all over the place. And we just knew that we try to get them different looks, disguise some coverages the best that we could, and try to confuse them, because I know that first series when he knew what we were doing, they went down the field and like nothing. They scored in less than a minute. So our main thing was just trying to disguise coverages in our fronts as often as we could.
Yeah, I noticed they were trying things like read options, and your guys didn't seem fooled by it. I know, especially in the previous games, I had a little bit more of a flair for the dramatic. What went into your the preparation this week to build off that?
Yeah, we've been in 4-quarter ball games the last 2 games, and our kids played for 48 minutes, and we expected the same thing tonight. They come off 2 big wins, San Marcos and Liberty Hill, and they played great football in those games. So we knew we had to make sure we were prepared and did our jobs and did our assignments on offense and defense and special teams.
Okay, good. Yeah, I guess they didn't tell us they were.
Jaden Bailey had a breakout game. What can you say about him?
Yeah, he's been on varsity since his freshman year, and he's done a tremendous job for us. His sophomore year, he was out with an injury. Last year, he was overcoming that injury a little bit, and he's had a great first 3 weeks for us.
I think you guys, especially after the close game against Brent, the comeback, defend off against Lake Travis, I think you guys had a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, you know what? We've that's what we tell them, since the beginning of the season is, you got to play. You got to play with a chip. You got to stay hungry. You can't get full and get complacent. And that's what so far these first 3 weeks they've come out and they've played hungry.
I know as far as things to clean up, having some trouble with the snaps.
Yeah, we got trouble with our snaps. Our center. Our starting center went out, with the minor injury, so we put our two center in there, and he struggled a little bit. But there's always room for improvement. That's why you play your preseason games. You never know when an injury is going to happen, and you got to have your 2 step in.
Anything else you're looking to clean up?
Yeah, our penalties. We do some penalties that we don't need to have. Whether it's sportsmanlike or holding or whatever it might be, and then. Just continue to play 4 good quarters of football. So we put 2 or 3 together at a time, but we know we need to put 4 continuous quarters together, to play at a certain level.
Last question would be I think you guys are going to respond. This is a huge confidence builder.
Yeah, anytime you go on the road, beat a quality, Huddle team, that's always going to be a positive thing for our team. We got a tough, really tough pre-distance.
Excellent. Thanks for that. Now, let's talk about some of the games coming up. Lockhart is taking on Davenport at 3-0. This is the 5th time only in the last 20 years Lockhart has started 3-0. Kerrville Tivy will travel to Marble Falls. Marble Falls has won 19 of its last 26 games. Burnett will travel to Giddings. The last two times these teams met each other was way back in 1993. Both teams had a losing record at the time. Now they're both doing much better. Let me see what else we got. Judson travels to Huddle, and that shows you the hard schedule that Huddle has. Huddle now has played 4 straight games against teams that have been state runners-up in the last 15 years, those being Liberty Hill, Cibolo Steel, Converse Judson, and Waco Midway. Elgin is off to their best start since 2013. They'll be hosting Cedar Creek. San Marcos at Laredo Alexander. That's a long way to go. Fredericksburg, the Billies will be traveling to Wimberley, where they have lost 10 of the last 12 times these two teams have met. Liberty Hill will travel to Rouse, Bastrop at Pflugerville, and we mentioned that Dripping Springs team with a still perfect record, but they're hosting Austin High, a team that has played them twice. Austin High won both times these two have met. Johnson will travel to Del Valley, Vista Ridge at Cedar Ridge. We also have Aikens at Lake Travis. Lake Travis has never lost to Aikens. They've scored an average of 57 points each time they've met. Bowie will look to continue their winning ways going up against Anderson. Stony Point will be at Vandegrift. That should be a good game. Westwood will travel to Round Rock, and the last times these teams went into the Battle of the Bell undefeated was 2006. There you have it, a lot of really, really good games coming up in Central Texas. I hope you get a chance to get out there and enjoy some. And hey, if you're a photographer, reach out to us, submit your photos, because we have a contest for Photo of the Year, and there's some really cool prizes. So look us up on LoneStarGridiron.com, find us on the web, find us wherever you find us, and let us know, and you can submit some photos.
You're listening to the Lone Star Gridiron Sports Network.
Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you so much for supporting Central Texas football. I also have to thank our sponsors, Fat Cow Beef Jerky, Grit Football Camps, and of course, Corey Pack State Farm Insurance. Please go out and support these companies, or at least reach out to them and thank them for bringing you the Central Texas High School Football Huddle. I'm your host, Chris Daly, reminding you, get out there and enjoy some football.